danger of invasion landings in Europe, the Japanese High Command turns to a desperate new tactic in the southwestern Pacific. On the 25th of November 1944, dug in on the island of Japanese bomber closes in on the USS Essex. Its pilot is part of a new force, the Special Attack Corps, Kamikaze. The Japanese High Command is convinced the kamikaze will break Allied morale and turn the tide of the war. Thousands of young men are now pressed to volunteer to make the ultimate sacrifice for their country. 23-year-old Isao Masuo.
Dear parents, please congratulate me. I have been given a splendid opportunity to die. The destiny of our homeland hinges on the decisive battle in the seas to the south, where I shall fall like a blossom from a cherry tree.
When the crew of a U.S. destroyer attempts to rescue a crashed pilot, he pulls out a grenade. At home in Japan, newspapers and newsreels are full of the kamikaze's exploits. They are seen as Japan's salvation. Students are called up and trained to attack with planes, boats, and even human torpedoes. To help them, a special suicide manual is devised.
Upon sighting the target, aim for a point at the center of the ship. As you dive, shout at the top of your lungs, "Hissatsu," kill without fail. Just before the collision, it is essential you do not shut your eyes. You will feel that you are suddenly floating in the air. At that moment, you will see your mother's face. Then you are no more.
A Japanese sailor is hauled out of the sea. He is the pilot of a small wooden suicide boat packed with explosives. Although hailed as heroes at home, in their private diaries and letters, many kamikaze reveal a different story. 22-year-old Army pilot Yoshi Miyagi.
We, the kamikaze, are nothing but robots. If we had listened to those Japanese who really loved their country, we would not now be faced with this disaster. I know that my death can no longer serve any purpose.
Despite the kamikaze hitting over 400 ships and killing more than 5,000 Allied sailors, the Allied advance towards Japan continues. "21-year-old Haruo Araki.
Dearest wife, the happy dream is over. Tomorrow, I will dive my plane into an enemy ship. I will cross a river into the other world, taking some Yankees with me. when I think of your future, it tears at my heart.
By the end of the war, more than 4,000 kamikaze will have flown to their deaths. Japan's empire, that once extended over vast areas of the Pacific and Asia, is now shrinking fast. On the 1st of April 1945, the island of Okinawa is bombarded by the Americans. It is the first piece of Japanese soil to be attacked. To defend the island, the Japanese High Command has devised another new tactic. Its forces have moved inland, hidden away in caves and bunkers. Senior Staff Officer, 32nd Army, Colonel Hiromichi Yahara.
As their troops land with almost no resistance, what must the enemy commander be thinking? I am unable to suppress an ironic chuckle. It is amusing to watch the American army so desperately attacking an undefended coast. Like a blind man who has lost his cane.
Okinawa is less than 400 miles from the main Japanese islands and home to almost 400,000 civilians. 14-year-old Junko Issa.
When we heard the Americans had landed nearby, all 8 of us hurried for the forest. Then an enemy plane screamed through the sky. When we looked back, the whole place was in flames. We could hear people crying out for help. But gradually the voices disappeared. That's when we knew they were dead.
The High Command in Tokyo is desperate to prevent an invasion of the mainland. They are prepared to sacrifice Okinawa to show the Americans how bloody this could be. From his command post on Mount Shuri, Colonel Yahara observes the advancing Americans.
For months now, we have been building our strongest fortifications in the hills to the south. Here, we will lure the American forces and defeat them.
After days of marching, suddenly the Americans run headlong into the main Japanese force.
The Emperor declared that this battle would decide our nation's future. Then came the glorious news that President Roosevelt was dead. We staff officers were ecstatic. We are convinced that now we will surely win the war.